Absolutely. You know, the creator of Black Panther, the character, which was a Marvel character, right, was Stan Lee, Caucasian Zionist Jew, you know, created the Black Panther, along with a lot of other notable characters for Marvel. Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, the Incredible Hulk, uh, um, who else? The X-Men, right, which he took from the Nation of Islam, because the Nation of Islam was using X, but we'll get into that in a minute. So all of these incredible characters that Stan Lee created, I give Stan Lee props because I grew up on those characters. I give Stan Lee props. I grew up with a Marvel head, a Marvel fanatic, love Marvel, love what Stan Lee did. Props to Stan Lee. You know, the writing at the time, you know, me being a child and whatnot, you know, writing at the time was mind-blowing to me. You know, I was in the comics. I was collecting them when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I was at Marvel, very little DC, because all they had was really Superman and Batman. I wasn't really into the rest of the characters, but I like Marvel because of the creativity Stan Lee put into it. And, you know, I can go on, but he came and created the Black Panther in the 60s. Now, you got to keep in mind what was going on in this country when Stan Lee created the Black Panther. Oh, that's right, the Black Panther Party. That was where he drew his inspiration from. The Black Panther Party, which is an American, so-called African-American group that was set up here in the 60s, which was really a communist Marxist group, but whatever. You know, they was into the, you know, rights for black people and the black berets and stuff like that and the Black Panther. Now ask yourself a question. Stan Lee, a Caucasian who lived in that time, obviously, right, saw all of this activity going on with the Black Panthers. So he was inspired by a American black, so-called black organization, a bronze organization, to create a civilization in Africa. Does that even sound right? Stan Lee wasn't inspired by Africa or Africans, for that matter, to create Black Panther. He was inspired by Mesoamerican bronze men, Huey P. Newton. What was the other guys? Stokely Carmichael. I think they was all of them guys. But these was American bronze men that inspired the Black Panther. So why is Black Panther being, you know, promoted as an African inspired character when it is not? It is not. Black Panther is American. Black Panther is as American as you and me, Mesoamerican. And again, Black Panthers are found in America, not Africa. You do know that, don't you? Black Panthers are part of the leopard species. Right? They just leopards was covered all over in black. Okay, and in the ancient world, ancient Mesoamerica, they had they was very heavy into the panthers, the jungle cats, the panthers, the leopards, and there was another one, the jaguar. Right? They were very heavy into jungle cats back then. And also, it's no coincidence why we as bronze people like cats today. That's no coincidence, because that modern-day house cat is a descendant of the jungle cats. You see, and again, our connection with felines goes all the way back into ancient Egypt, into ancient Mesoamerica. We always had cats around us, and jungle cats. Because like I said, we was rough people, so we dealt with the damn jungle cats. We wasn't scared of the jungle cats. We smacked the jungle cats around, wrestled with them and stuff like that. The panthers, our babies was playing with them. You see, they was like our companions, the jungle cats. Again, obviously Stan Lee was inspired by bronze men here in America. He was inspired by bronze men here in America, not in Africa. Wakanda is America. That's what Wakanda is. And to show you how funny that is, now here it is, when Black Panther came out, who was talking all this Wakanda, we're going to build Wakanda? It was black people here, so-called black people here in America. You ain't hear no Africans talking like that. Now, did you? Who was the people that responded most to the damn Black Panther? It was American bronze people. We responded to Black Panther. The Africans wasn't on it like that. They wasn't on that. They think that Wakanda stuff is funny. They wasn't on it like that. It was us that responded to Black Panther. Huh? We responded to and was inspired by Black Panther, not the so-called Africans, but of course, Stan Lee. He couldn't come out and just say that Black Panther was inspired by American bronze people, so-called black people. He couldn't say that, right? Because at that time, and even till today, the beast was heavy on pushing this false narrative that our people come from Africa, that our people here in the Americas are from Africa, which is a lie, a bold-faced lie, and that they bought 12 million of us on the damn slave, 100 million of us on the slave ships, and all this madness, these lies. No, what they did was reclassified us here in this land as Africans, the Mesoamerican people. They just decided to call us all Africans. That's how we got to be African American. All right? They ain't bring no 100 million, nothing, nowhere. The hell out of here with that lie. We related to the Black Panther because, like I said, that goes back into our ancient Mesoamerican heritage. In fact, when a lot of the Spanish conquistadors and them was coming here and those Mongoloid Indians was coming over here, they would make descriptions of our people, talking about how the people looked that was here. And they described them as dark-skinned, dark like a panther. A lot of them was smooth-skinned, dark-skinned, with woolly-haired people. You see, bronze, those are bronze people they were describing. They were dark as panthers. A lot of them was dark as panthers, and they had smooth skin. They had like afro-y, woolly hair and whatnot. The men, the women, different ranges, complexions, and they had reddish bronze, beige skin. But basically they talked about a lot of the dark skin ones with the sheen in their skin. You see, they was referring to them as the panthers. They look like panthers. They dark as panthers. They was talking about bronze people. They wasn't talking about no Mongoloid Indians, man. They wasn't talking about no money. They ain't even crossed the Bering Strait yet. They didn't even cross over the Bering Strait yet. The people who calling themselves Native Americans are Mongoloid Indians who crossed the Bering Strait and crossed in from Siberia and came in here and found our people here. The Panther people, the real Panther people. So it's no coincidence that, of all the names that organization could have chose, why they chose the Black Panther. Black Panthers. Why they chose them? They could have called themselves after anything, Black Gorilla Family or whatever. They could have called themselves anything. Why they chose Black Panther? It been that somebody obviously knew the history of the Panther in relation to American bronze people and ancient Mesoamerica. I think so. Because you don't just come out of nowhere and just call yourself that unless that person who decided to name it that clicked into something in our ancient Mesoamerican heritage and just Black Panther. And, of course, the so-called white man in Marvel, they capitalized off it. Of course, they capitalized off it. Bronze people should have started their own comic book company and created Black Panther their damn self. Marvel cashed in on how many millions of dollars Marvel made off of Black Panther, which is inspired by American so-called black people, bronze people, but they ain't break no goddamn bread in none of these black neighborhoods. But I bet you a lot of y'all spent millions of dollars on Black Panther comic books and going to see that movie. How much money has Marvel Studios gave back to so-called black people here in this country? Nothing. You see, nothing. Yet these culture vultures, they sit up here and swoop down on your goddamn culture and take your culture. Wakanda, the jewelry, the thrones, and the civilization of Wakanda. Look, man, if you literally look back at all that layout, that's nothing but ancient Mesoamerica, man. The pyramids, the people with royalty, the jewelry and things like that, that's ancient Mesoamerica, man. That's what you're looking at. You're not looking at Africa. You ain't looking in Africa. That's ancient Mesoamerica. But as the white man loves to do, he want to put everybody in Africa. He want to put all bronze people in Africa. We all just one big nigga to him. And we all just came from one place. See, that's the story they like to tell. We only come from one place called Africa, and on every place on the planet, we wasn't there. We got brought there by slavery, all these lies they tell. The lies they tell. The lies the beast tells. And y'all believe them. Y'all believe them. You get these old simple-ass coons up here who done studied too much American history and ate too much pork, and they start believing the beast and his BS. They want us to come up here and talking about the five civilized tribes, talking all that madness. We go back further than any goddamn Indian tribes here. We go back way further than that. They feeding off our culture. The so-called American Indians are culture vultures. They feeding off of our Mesoamerican heritage. Them feathers in the hair, the skins, all that. That's ancient Mesoamerican. That's straight from the damn Mayan culture. That's Mesoamerican culture. They go back to Olmecs, pass it down, the Mayans, the Inca, the Aztec. All that comes from our people. All the stuff they call it American Indian comes from our people. They came in amongst our people, and they learned our ways, our culture, and things like that, our heritage, and they adopted it and mixed in with some of our people. That's why if you look at in the beginning of when they start showing you so-called American Indians in the 1600s, 1700s, or they look like black and Asian mix. They got a black and Asian mix. That represents the Asians that crossed over the Bering Straits and mixed with the bronze people here. That's what your American Indians are. They're nothing but black and Asian mix, so-called black and Asian mix. Okay? That's what that is. But they want to give you this false narrative. They want you to think, oh, you know, you came from Africa and these people was already here and they've been on the land. That's a damn lie. That's a lie. They was the first ones to come into this land as immigrants, just so-called Mongoloid Indians. They came into this land as immigrants and found our people here. See, they don't want, I told you before, they don't want to deal with that reality. They want to steal our culture. Their culture, they're the biggest culture vultures. These so-called Native American Mongoloid Indians and the $5 Caucasian Indians and all that. And like I said, they can call themselves Indian all they want because we not no damn Indians, man. We Mesoamerican, man. Don't get caught up in that Indian thing. Let them have their little Native Indian, you know, let them have their American Indian heritage and whatnot. Hell, they just made George Washington an American Indian. There you go. So much for your American Indian classification. Go look on that goddamn quarter. Look on that quarter with George Washington and the big winch Maya Angelou on the back. You go look at the goddamn quarter. They just made George Washington an American Indian. So that's so much for the white man and his fake classification. You see, that's the new revised history. George Washington an American Indian now. A $5 ass Indian. No, he a quarter Indian. You see, so don't go with no nonsense. I don't want to hear nothing these Negroes saying that's using these Caucasian bad faith arguments and false ideologies they making up. Because they love to make up things as they go. But Black Panther was definitely connected with our people here in America. Black Panther is an American creation. Okay? Black Panther is an American creation, all right, from us. Like I said, you got to keep in mind of what was going on at that time in this country. They was trying to push our people into Pan-Africanism heavy. That's why, you know, after the 60s, they was really going hard with these clowns like this guy, this clown-ass guy, Malana Karanga, the guy who came up with the damn Kwanzaa thing, damn convicted felon who is now mysteriously working in the college as a professor. I ain't gonna go into all that. That'll be another time. You know, they was using him because he was one of the main ones who was pushing that Pan-African BS to our people. When he came up with that Kwanzaa crap, he had some organization called United Slaves. Then what that tell you? A nigga is the head of a group called the United Slaves, us, called United Slaves. We did the documentary, we watched the documentary on that last week. So this shows you this nigga pushing United Slaves killed 2 Black Panther members. Could that have been this nigga, this implant, this agent who was implanted there to cause chaos and corruption because our people was getting in touch with their Mesoamerican heritage? Because that's a sign that our people had to be getting in touch with some kind of Mesoamerican heritage that refer to themselves as Black Panthers. Then here come this nigga in with his United Slaves, and he killed 2 Black Panthers, and he tortured 2 so-called black women. But like I said, I'm not gonna go on into that. Look this clown up, Larenga, you know, whatever this nigga name is, the Kwanzaa nigga, the red, black, and green Kwanzaa nigga. Look him up. That's the nigga that was responsible for all your so-called black conscious, black, red, black, and green bullshit ideology that we all African and that we black. That's that guy right there. Damn degenerate. And he married to a damn Latinx with a fake Afro wig on her head. Look him up. He married to some Latina ex who classifies herself as a Caucasian female. Your boy Ron Karenga. He married to a Caucasian Latina ex who calls herself, who walking around with a fake Afro wig on since the 70s and still got it on. And she's on a bunch of these boards of these black women organizations. Look it up. That's your boy who are responsible for Kwanzaa, for you dumbass niggas who want to celebrate Kwanzaa. Go and look him up. Mr. United Slaves. People that was part and parcel with hiding our ancient Mesoamerican heritage and calling us African. Hiding our true indigenous heritage. You see. And it continues today. That's what you got Kumar out there, but Kumar Johnson and the rest of these Pan-African niggas out there that's designed to do the same thing. They here to do the same thing. They here to continue in the footsteps of people like Ron Karenga and all them other niggas that was pushing that Pan-African bullshit. They just keep them niggas. They just keep pushing out them niggas. Alex Haley was another one of them. Because at that time, they got Alex Haley to come concoct that bullshit called Roots. You know that bullshit Roots where he plagiarized a white man's book. A white man that wrote a book called The African, and he got sued in upstate New York and lost the case. That white man sued not only Alex Haley, black ass, lying black ass, but also ABC, the Walpole Company. Look that up. Now, why are they still promoting that Roots is part of Alex Haley's family tree? Why are they still promoting Kunta Kinte when that's a damn lie? Why haven't they brought that out publicly? Why are they hell back 4 or 5 years, about 6, 7 years ago, they put Roots out again, and still promoting it as Alex Haley's family tree and his heritage back to Africa. Y'all better wake up, man. You better wake up. Y'all want to live in damn fairy tale land. Even when you niggas was talking this Wakanda stuff, even when you was talking Wakanda, y'all still was talking about going with Africa, with this Africa stuff. You still was with the Africa nonsense. Even when you was talking about Wakanda, you still was with the African nonsense. You see, y'all tried to talk about making Wakanda here in America, but I mean that would have been more fitting, being that Wakanda is in America and is ancient Mesoamerica. When Dan Eddie Murphy made Coming to America, there wasn't no Africans feeling coming to America. It was niggas feeling coming to America, because that was more like he was really portraying like Mesoamerican royalty in the ancient world and whatnot. That's what he was portraying, because them Africans don't live like that, man. Even the ones that got money, they don't live like that. They want to be as European as possible. He had more of a flair and flavor with him, like a bronze person here in America. But like I said, the beasts always want to make everything African. They always want to make everything African. They want to tell us that all we come from is Africa, and we were swinging around in trees and hanging out with the monkeys and eating each other and cannibalizing on each other and had big pots cooking each other. That's the narrative right there. We a bunch of black-faced, red-lipped, nappy-headed niggas and whatnot, and we just was a bunch of jungle savages that got brought over here and civilized by. See, this is the story they want to keep telling. This is the story they want to keep telling, and they got enough niggas on the payroll to keep supporting this false history, so-called history. You see, all your so-called black Pan-African scholars are paid by the beast to promote these lies. Because if they're not teaching our people that we are the ancient Mesoamericans, we the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, the Mayan, then they right along with the beast and teaching that lie, man. If they still pushing this shit about us being black people and not the copper-colored people, the bronze people, if they're not telling that reality or pushing that truth, then man, the hell with these niggas. They on board with the beast, man. They on board with him. Them niggas getting a check to push that. And like what I tell you, they all going to get their tenure at the college. They're going to be on the tenure at the college. You see this nigga, Ron Karenga, here it is. This nigga's a convicted felon. And he works at a college out in Long Beach, California college. And of course he's a history of black study. He's a professor of black studies. There you go. African American studies. He's a professor of African American studies at the Long Beach College some fucking way. There you go. There you go. There you go. Nobody find it strange that this nigga's a convicted felon and he get to be a damn college professor. And the nigga ain't got, what's his educational background? Ain't nobody got no educational background on the nigga. You see, where's his educational background? Where was his credential? Where he went to school at? That nigga did 4 years in the penitentiary. He come out and he a fucking college professor. Are you kidding me? Teaching African American studies with a white wife, with an Afro wig on, white Hispanic white with a Afro wig on her head. Are you kidding me? This is the nigga y'all got on dashikis and following. Are you kidding me? Why do you niggas in America celebrate this Kwanzaa shit? Why do you niggas in America celebrate this Kwanzaa shit? You see, y'all bugged out of y'all minds, man. Y'all truly bugged out of y'all minds. You see, and a lot of the truth ain't in a lot of you Negroes, man. You'll keep up the lie. Even after you done heard the damn truth, you niggas gonna still call each other black and still talk about you from Mama Africa. You niggas gonna still do that, talk that bullshit. No matter whether the truth is out or not, you niggas don't care about the truth, man. A lot of y'all niggas don't care about the truth. So, you know, why don't y'all niggas just go ahead and go over to Ghana and go ahead and get a big old procession over to Ghana, back to Mama Africa, where the fucking Africans could turn around and treat you like shit. Because they don't want you niggas over in Africa. They don't believe you African. Quiet as kept. The Africans don't want to deal with you dumb niggas here in America, man. They don't want you over there. They want the white man to come over there and be amongst them. They love the white man. That's the only thing they got in common with you niggas here in America. They coons like a lot of y'all are. They love the beast. They rather him be over there than you niggas. You see, they don't want you niggas over there in Ghana, Senegal, wherever you niggas is at, Somalia, wherever y'all at. They love the white man. They ain't trying to embrace you niggas from America, so stop it. Stop it with this Mama Africa shit. The Africans ain't embracing y'all. They come over here, they wouldn't piss on y'all, and you trying to be like them. You trying to get that mud hut and kente cloth, and they looking at you like an asshole. They trying to dress like you. They trying to talk like you. Or the white man. You see. You see. Y'all got to cut this foolishness out, man. I'm going to need my people to grow up. I'm going to need my people to grow up real fast. See, because, you know, the amount of culture vultureism that has been allowed to proceed and persist on far backs of people feeding off of our American culture, off of our Mesoamerican culture and heritage. Like I said, it's been like no other. I noticed I mentioned that the X-Men fired by the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad, another franchise in which the beast made billions of dollars off. Made billions off Black Panther, inspired by our culture, and off of the Nation of Islam and the X-Men, which was inspired by our culture. Come on, you got to be blind not to see that Professor X isn't Elijah Muhammad. You got to be blind. Professor X ain't nothing but a white Elijah Muhammad. He just was they got him in the wheelchair. They got him as the brains and the mind, everything. They got him in a wheelchair and stuff like that. They didn't know the messenger wasn't in no wheelchair, but that's probably why they just put that there to make it seem like, oh, we don't want to have the comparison too much. But who was using the letter X? Who was using the letter X at that time in the 60s? The Nation of Islam. Y'all can't put two and two together. Y'all can't put two and two together and know that the beast is doing nothing but utilizing or plagiarizing your way of life and then making a fortune off of it. That's what they doing. They plagiarizing your life and then turn around and make a goddamn fortune off it. And you reading about the X-Men, which is really the fruit of Islam, the NOI. You reading about the X-Men and them being described as people with highly intelligent and intuitive powers and supernatural powers. Well, obviously, that's how Stan Lee saw the Nation of Islam. That's how he saw the Nation of Islam. That's how he saw Elijah Muhammad. Because who the hell else could he have been talking about? Just like I brought it out, I said when the Caucasian Jewish boys created Superman, you already know who they was inspired by, Jesse Owens. Duh. when they created Superman in 1938, when them two Caucasian Jewish boys created Superman in 1938, faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. You know, look, it's a bird, but it's Superman running fast and things like that. What just happened? What just happened 2 years earlier, where everybody was all inspired? What had happened in America that inspired them to create Superman? They didn't just come out of nowhere with a superhuman man, a man with super strength, superpowers to move fast, and all that. 1936, the Olympics, Jesse Owens, a bronze man, the Mesoamerican man who beat the German, the so-called Caucasian Superman, beat his ass, outran his white ass, outran all these Caucasians, high jump and everything, be the fastest man on the planet. Duh. That's where Superman came from. 2 years later, they came with Superman. They was talking about Jesse Owens. Because again, you gotta be inspired by something in order to bring something into creation. You gotta be inspired by something, and that's all the beast has done. They get inspired by the things that come naturally from us, and they start making things in our image and after our likeness. But of course, they put their Caucasian face on it. They put their Caucasian face on it because they can't put the bronze face on it, because then that would look as though they really worshiping our image, which they really are. But they can't show it because they got to keep the white and black, white above black paradigm going. They got to keep the white above black paradigm going. So they can't put our faces in these characters that was inspired by our people. They can't do that. You see, they can't do that. They see our thing and they run with something we got. You see? So y'all need to know that. You need to know that. The whole idea of superheroes and Superman, that came from bronze people, man. That didn't come from these Caucasians. They just put their face on it. They just put their face on it. Okay? You have to realize, like I said, they'll take anything that you do that is considered supreme and majestic and whatnot, and they're going to take credit for it. They're going to take hold of it. They're going to put their face on it, right? Like, it's with Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman, they had to have and again, this was pushing the whole liberation thing. You do know Wonder Woman had a black sister called Nubia. Right? Look it up. And Wonder Woman had a black sister called Nubia. Now, why would the white woman have a twin black sister called Nubia? Could that been the so-called white man wanting to connect the so-called black woman together with the white woman in the form of liberation? Yeah. Look up Wonder Woman and Nubia. Because around that time they was kind of push the idea of the liberated woman. They really wanted the black woman to be liberated from the so-called black man. You see, they really wanted to liberate. That's the only liberation they wanted for the so-called black woman here in America, is to liberate herself from away from the black man and her black children. That's what they wanted, so that she could be a bargaining chip and controlled by the so-called Caucasian man, so that she could be his bed wench. She could nurse his goddamn puppies, his gray puppies. She could do all this stuff. That's why they wanted to liberate her away, and they just wanted to really kill off the black man. They have been wanting to do that, because they know the so-called black man, the bronze man, carries the strength and the power to make them want to create Black Panthers and X-Men and things like that. They know that we carry that power mentally and deep down inside physically for them to want to create a Black Panther and a X-Men and a Superman and a Wonder Woman. You see, all these characters are inspired by our people, not by them. They not fast. They not strong. Who the fastest and strongest people on the planet? Bar none. Hands down, that's so-called black people, bronze people. That's us. So who the hell else could they be inspired by but us? I better wake the hell up and stop worshiping their damn image. When they sitting around, like I told you, when them white males and white boys are sitting around in their living room with their Budweiser and they watching, they sitting there and living vicariously through them bronze men running up and down the basketball court, running down the football field and whatnot. Like I said, that's how they get their connection of masculine energy. That's how they do it. They get drunk. They smoking their cigarettes, their cigars. They got their beer. They got their Budweiser, and they watching the football game, imagining them being bronze men. Imagine them being strong and fast like bronze men. worshiping them like little kids worship superheroes. You see, that's what they do. Worshiping them like little kids worship superhero, buying their goddamn jerseys. You spend $100 on a man jersey to wear on your back. You see them white boys wearing LeBron jersey, wearing damn Kevin Garnett jersey and whatnot. They're a bunch of fanboys. You see all them people that's in the sports, they wearing their jerseys. You a goddamn fanboy. Kobe, yeah, all of that. Magic, Michael Jordan. The hell you want to walk around wearing another man's jersey? That means you a damn cheerleader. I could see women walking around wearing men's basketball jerseys. Not no man. You see, but they worship the image of these guys. The sports figure is nothing but a modern-day, real-life superhero to them. You follow? The sports hero, the basketball player, the Michael Jordan, name any football player. What's the guy's name? Not Russell Westbrook. The guy. All them football niggas, pretty much. Baseball, all of them. That's the modern day superhero to the white man. That's the real life superhero. You do know that, right? That's the real superhero. You got comic books for your superheroes as a little boy, but in real life, the superhero is the black man. The so-called black man, the bronze man. He's the superhero. Now I must prove that to you. What did DC do? They did a comic book with Superman on the cover fighting Muhammad Ali. Now, how many of y'all remember that comic book they did? I got the T-shirt here too. When I got them wearing the summertime where they got Muhammad Ali. Well, they got Muhammad Ali fighting Superman. Now, why did they make that shirt? Exactly. Odell Beckham, Bo Jackson, all of them are superheroes to these guys, man. Dr. J. Julius Erving, these were all superheroes. That's really what they were. They fly through the air with the damn ball, slam dunking the basketball and all that. They fans, man. They worship the image of these guys. They worship the image of these God-bodied men who they consider to be gods because they play that sport. They go back to us in the ancient world again, playing our ball games. Throwing the ball. We was playing basketball in the ancient world as the damn Mayans. We was playing basketball before James Naismith, the Caucasian, who supposedly invented basketball. We was doing that back in the ancient world, throwing balls through hoops. Look it up. We've been doing that. But what they showing you when they showed you Muhammad Ali fighting Superman is the white man really looks at Muhammad Ali on the same level as Superman. That's why they did that. They were showing you they look at the bronze man as on the same level as they fictitious Caucasian or Superman. They really see you bronze man as the equivalent of a Superman in their mind. That's why they did that. So you gotta know what the message they trying to convey, how they really see you. And of course, if they see you that way, they know in real life they scared of you, that you dangerous. That's why when a cop pull a nigga over, 6 cars coming behind him, they don't know. It'd be one nigga in the car, 6 cars coming behind him. He's scared to death. He got his hand on his gun as soon as he get out the car. You see? Because they see you as a race of supermen, and they don't know what you might do. That's really why they scared of you and they nervous of you, and they make sure they got plenty of guns, they got plenty of backup, they got plenty of people with guns because they cowards. You see? They scared. But the Black Panther, the Jungle Cat, the man who stepped up as the Black Panther again, these was inspired by American bronze people, bronze American people, our ancient Mesoamerican heritage. That's what Black Panther was really inspired by. Black Panther is not African. Black Panther is American, purely American. Why? Question. Why they didn't go to Africa? I don't think they went to Africa to film Black Panther. I don't think they went to Africa. See, they keep on trying to make a correlation between us and the Africans. You see? And you see why they want to do that, right? Because if they've been wanting to push the whole Native American thing or the American Indian as the founder of America. The reason why the white man pushes the so-called American Indian as the founder of America or the first American is because he could slip his way into the so-called American Indian heritage. He could slip his way in. He could mix his way in with the woman and go unnoticed because they got the same straight hair like the dog, right? So he could slip his way in with the Mongoloid Indians and go unnoticed. You see, like what they did with George Washington on the quarter. You see, now the people that see that in the future will think, wow, founding father of George Washington, the first president of America, was a Native American, and they'll go, yeah, he was. He was an American Indian. He had American Indian heritage. That's going to be the new story. Give it another 10 years. That's the new story. He got Native American heritage. He got American Indian heritage, and he was here, and he's part of the American tribe. And then his Caucasian family came, and they mixed in, and so that's how all white people are Native Americans. We got Native American because they could slip in there. See, amongst the Mesoamericans, they can't slip into the bloodline. It's too strong. The bloodline is too strong. How strong the Mesoamerican bloodline is, you can still see our goddamn faces on the damn walls. Us here in modern times, you could find our physical counterpart in the ancient world. And this society, those societies ended over 50 to 75,000 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. You still find our faces up there in modern day times. So our genetics have traveled. That means our genetics have traveled hundreds of thousands of years. I'd say the last Mesoamerican probably maybe like 10, 15,000, like 10,000 years ago. I'm just throwing up numbers, but it was a long time ago, a very long time ago. Anytime you could end up hiding their whole heritage and culture and just say those people disappeared. You know how long ago that was? But yet we still here. You look back at those ancient faces on those walls in ancient Mesoamerica, you'll see our goddamn faces on those walls. That's a testament to the strength of our genetics, talking about we disappeared. We ain't go nowhere. They hid us in blackness. They shrouded us in blackness. They called us black people. They blacklisted our people. They blacklisted a whole heritage, a whole culture of people by calling us black people. That was their way of blacklisting us. That was their way of hiding us. Calling us black people was their way of hiding us. Y'all don't see that? A way of blacklisting us, because the white man do that in a heartbeat. He does what's called blacklisting, where he basically, put a black line through your name, and it's like you don't even exist no more. You see? Redacted. That's why you're called black people today. For you simple-ass Negroes who think, oh, see, we black because black is the spiritual essence of power. No, nigga, you black because they decide to blacklist a whole race of people in this society. That's why you're called black. You niggas didn't decide to call yourselves black. The white man called you black as a way to redact the whole goddamn race. And, of course, you stupid-ass niggas want to still run with that. You still want to run with this black shit. Why? Because you listening to people like Kumar Johnson. You listening to this nigga, the one who started Kwanzaa, United Slaves. That's the shit you listening to. You listening to Garvey talking that black shit. Another one, Agent Mark. Someone just go ahead and say it. That this nigga talking about he going to send everybody back to Africa. Yeah, his black ass didn't even go to Africa. He didn't even bother to change his name. How you going to tell you to go to Africa or tell him he going to take y'all back to Africa somewhere and he didn't even go there one time? Are you out of your mind? But you niggas talking about Marcus Garvey. Kumar talking about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey got his black ass exiled to Jamaica, where he came from. He just come over here all of a sudden, and he from Jamaica, and everybody following him talking about going back to Africa. Stop it. That's about as fake as damn Harriet Tubman running around here with one gun, freeing a whole bunch of slaves by herself. Stop it. In the Underground Railroad. Come on. She ain't had no help. Okay. You see. Yeah, Marcus Garvey, Jamaican. He came from Jamaica, and he came over here and started the UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association, which sound like, and I'm going to show you something. Listen to that name, United Negro Improvement Association. Don't that sound a lot like the United, what's that shit, the NAACP? The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That sounds like some shit some Caucasians made up. Come on, listen to the title of that. That don't sound like something them nigga came up with off the top of his head. The United Negro Improvement Association. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. White people say corny shit like that. They make up corny ass names like that. And of course, that means you already know who control it. You already know who control it. Garvey had a lot of Caucasian Irish friends who was his backers. They don't talk about that though. Y'all better wake up, man. Y'all better wake the hell up. We bringing receipts tonight. All you niggas that love Pan-Africanism and Marcus Garvey and Maranga, Kalanga, whatever the fuck that nigga name was, that lion-ass nigga with his United Slave. Raw and uncut, man. That lion-ass, bald-headed ass, cue-ball-head nigga pushing that Pan-African bullshit with his white wife, his white Latina ex-wife with the fake fucking afro wig on her head that's pricing herself off as a black woman. And you niggas was standing in the picture with them. Man. This is the foolishness that goes on. This is the foolishness and the fuckery that goes on in our name, in our ancient heritage. This is the foolishness and fuckery that's allowed to go on in our name. You see, that's why I can't take black people seriously. That's why I can't take black people seriously at all. No one should, and nobody do. So when you niggas sitting up here asking for reparations as black people, white man just laughing in you niggas' faces, man. These niggas still think they're black. Why would we give reparations to a redacted people, to a blacklisted people? You people don't even exist. Why the hell are we gonna give you reparations? You're black. That's probably what they be saying. You niggas don't even exist. How do you give money to a black person? That's like pretty much turning the lights off and giving $1 million to nothing. You see, this is the mentality. They just play with you niggas, man. They just play with you. I got to be smarter than that. I know it's a little raw and cut tonight, but I just had to get on. Whenever this conversation go up and then you just hear about the ridiculousness of niggas and the things they just get y'all to believe, the lies the beast tell to get you niggas to believe anything, you niggas just fall for anything. You know, you'll fall for anything. You niggas sit up there and read hours and hours of bullshit history from the white man, made up lies, and study it, and then come up here and start talking about, yeah, brother, you know about the 5 civilized tribes? Like that old dickhead from last week. You know, the old coon. You know. I know I gotta be rough in my language, man, but you know when you just got to see this shit for real, like you just appalled, like you just really, really appalled, like you don't know how to be appalled and disgusted at the same time. How they just play black people out, just play you niggas out, just say the dumbest shit to y'all, and y'all just sit here and go I don't know what's more disgusting, the beast's lies or you niggas and your beliefs of his lies. I was going to say it's equally disgusting, but you niggas are by far the most disgusting. You more disgusting than the beast, because, you expect the beast to lie, but you don't expect you niggas to be dumb enough to believe this shit. They really insult your intelligence. Now, I wonder why I go so hard on Malcolm X, why I call him a coon and a Sambo and a sellout. You know why I go so hard on Malcolm X? Because he was one of the first recruits to this Pan-African bullshit that they're pushing right now. He's one of the first recruits. After he went against the Nation of Islam and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they recruited him, meaning the shadow society, the shadow government recruited him and other niggas like Maya Angelou, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, all these so-called Sidney Poitier, all of these people got recruited. A lot of these entertainers, actors, and public speakers, these professors, a lot of these guys from the Black Panther Party, these people were influential, so therefore they were recruited to push Pan-Africanism to the masses of our people. Malcolm X was the first one that they converted. He was one of the first ones. They was going to use him to lead the Pan-African movement. But obviously he fell out with some of them people, and you see what happened to him. But this is when he went against Elijah Muhammad. When he went against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, started talking about the messenger's personal business and talking about him, his young women and stuff like that. Y'all don't know why he did that? Y'all really don't know why Malcolm X sold out Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam? Because they made him more money. They offered him more money in the future to push the Pan-African thing. And if you notice, right after he left the Nation of Islam, all of a sudden the nigga grew the hair all out on his face. He got a damn dashiki on. He started talking this African shit. How that changed? How you go from clean shaven and a bow tie, practicing Freemasonry, which y'all was calling Islam, but we're going to get into that another time. How you go from that, clean shaven, a suit and a bow tie in an organization, the number 2 man, to now you want some Pan-African thing. You got hair all over your face. You go to Mecca, start talking that bullshit about there ain't no racism in Islam, which is a damn lie, which is a bold-faced lie. You go over there and you see all them Arabs with sheiks and all them smoking hashish and laying with different types of women. That ain't what Elijah Muhammad advocated. Then you come back over here. Next thing you know, you hook up with Maya Angelou. It's pictures of you with Maya Angelou, and you already know she was a damn agent, and she was married to a damn white man, talking that black shit. All that poetry. They recruited all them niggas of that time, the poetry, all of them Nikki Giovanni's and what's the other clown, Langston Hughes and all them Negroes, which they was trying to push that whole African American narrative. So they got them people. They lined them people up. Malcolm X got down with them. See, because he was jealous of the messenger, and there wasn't no money under Elijah Muhammad like that. He wanted to be the head of the Nation of Islam, and he knew that wasn't probably going to happen because the messenger had too many sons, so that wasn't going to happen. So what he did was he started going against what the messenger was saying, not following orders, said that stuff about Kennedy, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't want no heat from that whole Kennedy thing. He didn't want our people involved in politics. Malcolm X took our people into that political BS. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was just trying to focus on building up our people and whatnot, just basically fixing the mental damage that was done to our people in private. That nigga, Malcolm X, wanted to take the organization public and start going on TV shows because that was more about him. It wasn't about the nation. The nation, after a while, just became a platform for this nigga to speak. And once he found out he couldn't do that no more, he couldn't have his own goddamn way, that's when all of a sudden he get on the TV and get to with the goddamn devil and start speaking against Elijah Muhammad, the man that saved his life. That's what a $2 ass nigga do that y'all look up to. Eve-seated male do. They'll stab you in the back all the time. They'll sell you out all the time. Elijah Muhammad saved his life. Saved that nigga's life. If it wasn't for Elijah Muhammad, you wouldn't even heard of a Malcolm X. Most of the shit y'all love Malcolm X for, the stuff that came out of his mouth, was stuff from Elijah Muhammad. And you niggas turned around and disrespected Elijah Muhammad. You fucking niggas turned around and disrespected Elijah Muhammad. Call a man a pedophile, say all this shit about Elijah Muhammad, but you love Malcolm X, who was raised by Elijah Muhammad. And then you wonder why, the white man still raising Malcolm X up as an icon. Why, if Malcolm X was so for our people, why did the white man raise him up as an icon right now to this day? You see? Why do they still raise Malcolm X up as an icon if he was so pro-black and for our people? Why is he raised as an icon? Why did they put up money for Spook Lee to make a $20 million, or whatever, how much he paid for that bullshit Malcolm X movie? Why did they put up the money for that? Because Malcolm X was a tool. He got used by the Caucasians at the end. And I guess they ended up playing him out. Then he tried to call himself running back to the messenger, apologizing and whatnot, because he probably found out what they really want to do, what they wanted to use him for, and he probably wasn't with it. And once he said he wasn't with it, that was his death warrant. You see? Because look at them, Google the pictures of him and Maya Angelou together. How he get with them that fast? How he get with them that fast? You know how? Because he was already clicked in with a lot of those entertainers like Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee, when them was pushing, look at them niggas pushing that Pan-African shit. You see? That's why the beats, like some of these niggas have some success in being movies and produce their movies, because they was going to produce the whole Pan-African narrative. You see, that's why he got clicked in with those people. And like I said, for whatever reason, he fell out with them. He didn't want to probably do what they wanted him to do, which basically was to tear down the Nation of Islam. Exactly. There goes somebody put the picture up. You know, here it is. Maya Angelou was a bed wench. And all them black females that write them books against bronze men, they all bed wenches. Alice Walker, Maya Angelou, you know, they all bed wenches or they lesbians. You see, that's the real. That's the real. You see, they don't want you to know that. See, you ain't supposed to know all of that. You know, just like you ain't supposed to know your heritage and history, your real heritage and history. You see, you supposed to have came here on a slave ship. You were supposed to come here on a slave ship. You see, you were supposed to come here on a slave ship as a dumb nigga, a dumb ignorant jungle dweller, right? That's the history they teach. Yet when you come over here, you're doing skilled labor. Remember I told you that you can't get a bunch of jungle bunnies, which is what the white man called you niggas, a bunch of jungle bunnies, niggas in the jungle. You can't get a bunch of jungle bunnies to perform skilled labor like building houses, growing crops, sewing and all that. That's all skilled labor. That's all skilled labor. Niggas wasn't standing around picking cotton. No, they didn't bring a bunch of niggas over from Africa to pick cotton. You got to be out of your cotton picking mind to believe that bullshit. They took skilled people that were already here in the Americas, our people, who were living on this land way before there was a Caucasian in sight, an Asian in sight, a Mongoloid Indian. Before our people was here building and farming this land and working this land and living on this land and trading on this land, having civilization in the mound cities on these lands. And when the Caucasians came, they came like the plague. And they came, they robbed, they stole, they enslaved, and they classified us as Africans. That's how slavery started in America. That's how slavery really started. That whole narrative of them bringing slaves over and that Amistad thing, yeah, that happened in the beginning of slavery, toward the beginning. That happened then. And they seen that was not going to work. They couldn't keep doing that. Because you had them Africans take the whole damn ship and start killing up the white people and whatnot. Then, like I said, half the time your cargo get here, they sick. What was they going to do to take care of the damn sick slaves? These bastards is sick and dying. They don't know shit about medicine. What the hell was they going to do? Why would you bring in sick slaves, people that you know they're going to be sick from your nasty asses? Who going to put them on a plantation to work and have sickness all on your family? Think about this, man. Come on, y'all got to start using your head, man. You got to start using your head. These people coming here and they sick already from being around these Caucasians and whatnot, and they filthy diseases and STDs, and they screwing the women and raping the women and women giving it up, and the women coming now, they got STDs, and their children got STDs, and this really what you believe happened? This is what you really believe happened? What sound like it makes more sense about what really happened? What sound like it made more sense? Oh, they just came over here and they brought a bunch of angry slaves from Africa into America, and they fighting with these people on the ship, and they could be a month or two on the voyage, and you're gonna be fighting with these people, locking them down, pissing and shitting on each other. You gotta smell that, and you gotta this what you gotta go through all the time of bringing these people here, and they fighting with you. That some of them killing themselves or killing each other in there, diseases on them and whatnot, and by the time you start off with 200 slaves, you're lucky if you got 40 when you get there. And they sick. You see, this is what they want you to believe, that people did. From a business standpoint, slavery don't even make sense. Cargo slave ships don't make sense from a business standpoint. Why would not say, hey, why don't I take these niggas over here who already clean and already well kept, and they ain't got no guns. We could just get some guns and overrun them and take their shit, and we could do what we want with them. What make more sense? I'm going to go get these Africans over here, and they're going to be fighting me all the way, and they're going to be shitting and pissing on themselves and smelling all the shit and everything. I'm going to go through that. You tell me who was signing up for that. You tell me who was signing up for that. Ain't that much pay in the world. Who the hell going to sign up for that? You might not even make it over here. Them Africans going crazy. They're going buck wild. You see, you seeing death and destruction and stench and all that. And then women, of course, you know, they was funky as hell. Like they was funky too. Nobody washing themselves. They just throwing a bucket of water on people. You really believe that happened? Or the reality was they came over, they saw a bunch of people working the land, peaceful people that had no weapons, no guns, and they ain't had no guns or nothing like that. So they just took these people, took their land, put guns on them, made them kill some of them, make them hard. That's how slavery got started. Why won't they tell that? Why won't they tell the truth? Why won't they just tell the goddamn truth? Why won't they just tell the truth? See, because it makes them look even more demonic. You see, it makes them look even more demonic than what they are. And I didn't think that was even possible for these people to look more demonic than what they are. How sick mentally they are to do something like that to people. People who 9 times out of 10 welcomed them into America, tried to be friendly with them and whatnot, tried to, it makes them look like the worst scumbag a race of people, which they are on the planet, to be able to do something like that where people invited you in to live and probably showed them how to feed themselves, fish, with a hunt and things like that, and then you turn around and take their land and enslave them, rape them, and kill them. This is your fucking society right here. This is your society right here. And anybody that stand on that or try to act like that didn't happen, don't get away from me. Don't talk to me. You got the mark of the beast on you, which means there's no truth in you. Anybody that believes anything other than that, because either no matter how you slice it, it is all still messed up. But again, we ain't getting into the emotional part of it. We're getting into the logical parts of it. Slavery from a cargo slave ship don't even make no sense. That's a big lie. But you know how the beasts do. If they feel like if they repeat a lie enough, like they did with Roots over and over and over again, they kept running Roots with all them slave movies from the damn 70s, all these documentaries on slavery from Africa. You think they doing all that to educate you, or do you think they doing it to program you, to get you to believe this bullshit? They doing it to program you, to get you to believe this. They ain't trying to educate you because they know they making this shit up as they go. They trying to program you to believe it so that you don't question, damn, that don't even make sense. They don't want you to question whether it makes sense. That's why they program you. They keep telling them the lie, we keep telling them over and over again. They're going to believe it. What else they got to go by other than what we say? That's how they feel. These niggas ain't going to think about it. They'll just believe they came over on cargo slave ships. All these niggas are stupid. They're black. They'll believe they just came over on cargo slave ships, these dumb niggas. You see? They'll believe we bought 100 million of these jungle bunnies over here from the west coast of Africa. They'll believe it. Now ask yourself a logical question. I'm trying to get a foothold in a country. I'm trying to get a foothold in where my people is in control. Why would I bring people who don't look like me over here, and I'm still trying to get a foothold here? Why would I bring people here that could eventually outnumber me just by how they screw and make babies? I'm going to bring these people here, and I'm trying to use my people to get a foothold in this country. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I import a whole millions of people into a country where I'm trying to get a hold of? Does that even make sense? Or see, if I just take these niggas that's already here and breed them, I can control how they populate. I already know where they at. We can put them on segregated plantations and whatnot, and we'll control how they populate, how they mix. That's what they did. That's what they really did. That's what they did. I'll see you 602. I'll get you in a second. That's what really happened. Y'all got to stop with this slave narrative, man. You niggas don't watch too much Roots. You don't believe too much of the Alex Haley bullshit story, the lie that this clown untold. And the Black Panther is an American creation inspired by American bronze people, so-called black people. Black Panther has nothing to do with Africa. Black Panther has nothing. Wakanda ain't no Africa. Ain't no such thing as Wakanda. And like I said, it is inspired. The Panther is a native to America, not to Africa. Not to Africa. The Panther, the jungle cat, which again was moving in the North American jungle. Even that whole jungle thing, like I said, you got jungles in North and South America. You see. The white man call you a jungle bunny, but he don't call himself a cave dweller. That's really where he's from. He's a cave dweller. You see. Most of his wall carvings is in caves. Mm-hmm. And drawings. But Black Panther is fully American. And again, the word America don't come from Amerigo Vespucci. It does not come from the name of a white man. That is a lie. I know they teach you that lie in history, that America comes from America. The word America comes from Amerigo Vespucci. It does not. It is a Mayan word. From so-called black people, from bronze people, it is a Mayan word, which means I forget, the wind or something like that. Amariscus, which means wind or something. When look it up, it's a Mayan word, Amariscus, the wind. The guy Booker Coleman talked about that. You know, some of these guys, they'll break code from time to time, and they'll tell it. Some of them will tell the truth, that our people are the real Mesoamericans who built those pyramids in Mexico and all over in the mound cities. They'll do that from time to time. But a lot of these guys, they're not going to do it because they want to stay in good favor with these Caucasians who pushing this lie so that these guys can get 10 years at colleges, African-American study, history teachers and stuff like that. See, this is how they get their bread and butter, because these Caucasians, they'll put up money for these guys to produce books, go on tours, teach this, walk around. When you ever see these niggas, they got their African-American costume, they African dashiki on their costume. I call it their costume, where these niggas will go out here and they doctor this and doctor that, and they got their dashiki on, and they telling you some shit about Africa. And, you know, these niggas, they go on a tour with this shit. These niggas go on a tour. That clown, I think he dead now, Dr. Leonard Jeffrey, he was one of them niggas. I told you I went to go see him at City College. This nigga had on his little his little African costume. The nigga had the little African gala, whatever that shit is. He had that robe he had on. He had his little folded up African cap. And some just told me to look down at this nigga pants. Because I told you, he had this thing back then in the 90s, we talking about these old civil rights niggas in their brown pants. Man, I looked down with this nigga pants. He had them old civil rights shit brown pants. I said, yeah, nigga, you phony. And your name Leonard Jeffries. You ain't even got no African name, nigga. Lion-ass nigga. Renoko Rashidi, all you old niggas that lied. He dead too now. Calling these niggas. Calling these old niggas master teachers. How they master teachers, and they ain't going to tell you the real heritage of our people. These niggas wasn't even trying to connect us to the ancient Mesoamericans. I'm like, damn, the beast bought you niggas off that good, gave you niggas some butter biscuits and some crumbs off the table, and gave you a fake degree where you can get 100,000 a year and go on book tours and talk about Africa all you want, but just don't leak to people. Don't tell your people they're the Native Americans. Don't tell them they're Mesoamericans. Make sure you don't talk about that. Stay away from that. And you ain't never hear these niggas talk about that. They got you flying all the way over to Egypt to go stand and look at some fucking pyramids, and all you got to do is go right to Mexico and look at what your people did, which is 10 times greater than damn than Egypt. These niggas ain't going to take you to Mexico to see them pyramids. They're going to take you all the way over to Egypt and finesse your pockets out of thousands of dollars to go over to Egypt, and you can see what your people did right here in America. Right down the street. Exactly. Why they don't take you on no tour? Why they don't take you on the tours to go see the pyramids in Mesoamerica? Why they don't take you on those? See, because they sworn to secrecy about that. They not going to do that. They're not going to mess up they ain't going to mess up they 10-year money. They're not going to mess up their PhDs at the college. They ain't going to mess that up. You see? They ain't going to mess that up. They ain't going to mess up being around Joe Biden and all those people in the Black Congressional Congress, and they show up with their goddamn African costume dashikis on. Them old bootleg niggas ain't throwing that down the toilet. They ain't going to do that. They silence, and that money come with a cost. Don't you ever tell your people that they're the real Native Americans of this land. We already got the people who we want to represent the Native Americans, and we're always going to give your culture over to them, and you guys could be African, and whatever you want, whatever story you want to spin, you can sell kente cloth. We'll produce the kente cloth for you niggas to sell, the mud cloth straight from damn that kente cloth and all that stuff. That shit ain't even made in Africa. That shit is made somewhere in Holland somewhere by a bunch of Dutch people, Caucasians. They make all that kente cloth shit, that mud cloth, that black shit with the white lines on it. that you niggas love to buy and roll. I just watch you dumb niggas do that in the 90s. Buy that bullshit, that Kenta Club and all that, and rolls and rolls and rolls of shit, and making your little costumes out of your little dashikis and whatnot, and these crackers sitting back laughing at y'all. You know, walking around with your little Coming to America hat on your head with a perm under it. You know, like what's her face? Like Maya Angelou. A little Kenta cloth head covering with her perm under it. You see. I wonder what a white husband had to say about that. He probably loved it. That's great. He probably had one on too. You see. That foolishness. Of course, you know, the credo of the Pan-African liberated black female is she don't got to be with no black Pan-African man. She could be with a white man, a Jewish man, an Arab man, an Asian man. Right on, sister. Right on. You see, because obviously they teach liberation, the liberation of the black woman in Pan-Africanism heavy too. And you see a lot of them pop up. They had a little African dashikis on, their dashiki dresses, and they got their damn Jewish husband sitting in the background with his shit on, with the African shit on. I never forget the brothers told me they went down in Lower Manhattan to see the some African exhibit shit down there in Lower Manhattan, and I kid you not, they said it was a white man with a beard like a Jew, a so-called Jew with the dashiki on and the damn Kenta cloth hat on, and he's teaching them about black people in the middle passage. The white man with a beard on his face. Yeah, not a so-called black man, a white man. He's sitting there with a beard on his face, teaching you about the damn African Holocaust, some shit. And now, could you imagine if they would have let a so-called bronze person, a black person, stand down there in front of them Jews and talk about the Holocaust? You know what? That shit wouldn't even happen. You think they gonna step up there and let a black man, so-called black man, tell the Jews about the Jewish Holocaust in Germany in one of their museums? See, they could disrespect you anytime they want to, but you try the same thing, and you won't even be meaning to disrespect them. They'll rip your ass apart, man. Some people will rip your ass apart. You see, people just disrespect y'all all over, black people all over the place, and the niggas too dumb to understand when they're getting disrespected, when they're being insulted. Calling you an African American, a Moor, whatever, that's an insult, man. That is a goddamn insult. Calling you black people, blacklisted people. Black cargo, black market. You see, illegal, hidden. That's what they call you. That's what they mean when they call you black, when they call you Moor. And you niggas, like I said, you niggas get caught up in how nice the name. Oh, Moor, that's a dope sounding name. We the Moors there. We the Moors. You know, I'd rather be a Moor than a Negro or a black person. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It was meant to be an insult, just like blackface is meant to be an insult. If you niggas are mad about blackface and with a white man put the black face shit all over his face and the red lips, if you so insulted by blackface, then why do y'all call yourself black people? If you so insulted by blackface, why do you call yourself black people? That's just a question, a logical question. You so pissed off and insulted by blackface when the white man show up with do the blackface, the red lips and all that. Why y'all still call yourself black people then? Wouldn't you be like, well, I don't want to be associated with that blackface thing, so maybe I should stop calling myself a black person. I mean, logically, right? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overthinking things, right? If I was offended by being called black or blackface, I wouldn't call myself black no more. Simple as that. You know, you can end all that. You can end all that overnight. Just stop answering to black. Like I've been stopped answering to black. Somebody tell you a black person, African? Nope. Oh, you're not African American? No. You're not a black? No. Well, what are you? American. American, like how they do. You know how the white man do? He don't say he white. He don't say he European. He say they fucking say they American. And that's false. How they get to say they American, they came from someplace else. The white man right now will tell you they American. Forget that you came from Italy. Forget that you came from Spain. Forget that you came from England. Forget that you came from anywhere. You American. But when it comes to you, you got to be African American. Why you got to be African American? You ain't never seen Africa, so how you African American? They could count back 2 generations to their family in Italy, Germany, France. So how the fuck do they get to be American over you? How the fuck do they get to be American over you? Next time they ask you what you are, we American. Native American. If that's what they want, we American. Or write in American. That's it. Don't even write Meso-American. And we already know we Meso-American. When you writing on something on the application, they ask you just write in as other Americans. That's it. Don't circle black. Don't circle African American. That's an insult to who we really are as the founders of this society. That's a fucking insult. Raw and uncut. We are American. Write American in. We was here before everybody came here. Everybody. Everybody come to these shores. From the Mongoloid Asians to the damn Caucasians, we saw everybody come here and take from us. And y'all want to act like that didn't happen. You want to go with this bullshit African slave narrative that they lied and made up and used these coon-ass clowns to push this lie. No. How many times you got to stand up, get your goddamn legs back, serpent. Get your legs back, serpent. Time's now to stand up, get your legs back, serpent. No more crawling on your goddamn belly, man. Leave that for the niggas. Let them crawl around on their belly. Let them crawl around under the beasts of the fields and lick up their ass and kiss their ass and try to be like them. Let them do that. No more going out like suckers. Raw and uncut. That's just how we giving it up. That's just how we giving it up tonight in 2022. We giving it up raw. Because you got to give it up raw and uncut. You got to give it up raw, righteous, and real. The 3 R's, raw, righteous, and real. If you ain't giving it up like that, I don't want to hear what you're talking about. I don't want to hear what you're talking about. Be gone. I don't want to hear nothing you're talking about because you're a liar. You'll sit up here and pan African-American us to death and Moor us to death with all this nonsense. Black us to death. We don't want to hear no black, Moor, African-American bullshit no more. We can see clearly now the black is gone. No, thank you. We got bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry. We got a greater reality to uphold as the real Americans here. So again, you filling out something, put American. That's it. No need to explain. They got other for a reason. If these motherfuckers could walk around here talking about they non-binary, that I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. So okay, since we get to define who we are, we not African American no more. We American. Period. Just like that. We ain't black no more. We bronze. Just put American. You ain't got to explain your color. Just write in American. Since everybody else get to define themselves and say the most ridiculous shit that don't got nothing to do with their heritage or sexuality, they can define it something goddamn it we can't do. Now why should it be a problem if we start saying we American and we don't say African or black no more? Then it'll be a problem, but it's okay for the white man to lie and say that, or say that he a woman, or they identify with anything he wants. When you identify with that which is even real, all of a sudden it's a problem. Oh, is this some kind of scam? Why are they not saying they're African? Because we're not African American. And no, we're not black.